Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another awesome Minecraft video for you guys today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be showcasing a pretty insane add-on. This add-on adds, well, check this out. This add-on adds Godzilla's greatest enemies into Minecraft, as well as SpaceGodzilla, as you guys can see over here. But, right before we get started, if you guys could do me a favor and help me hit a like goal, that'd be absolutely insane. If we hit, maybe let's try to go for, you know what, let's try to go for 2 likes for today's video. That'd be awesome. Go down there and slap that like button down there down below. And let's check out these mobs. Okay. So, I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you at least know who Godzilla is, right? You know, big, giant, kaiju, super powerful, and for some reason, always attacks Japan. But, we have different variations over here, or really just one with, 2 different forms. And you know what? Well, check them out. So, in 3, 2, 1, SpaceGodzilla. Alright, guys. Tell me that entrance wasn't so awesome. Alright, so this is SpaceGodzilla, a celestial version of Godzilla, and there is another form that actually activates when SpaceGodzilla dies, but we'll check that out later. Either way, here's some stats. So this version of Godzilla has 1,990,000 HP. It has attack damage that does 38,000 damage. It has a crystal attack that does like 18,000 damage. I was about to say 180,000. Wow, that would have been way too much. And its Corona Beam does 37,000 damage per hit, with a Super Corona Beam doing 41,000 damage per hit. So, pretty awesome stuff. And if, you know, this one dies, I don't know if this command counts, but we'll try it out. Oh, I guess it doesn't count. Either way, when, you know, SpaceGodzilla dies, it becomes its charged form. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, less of an animation when it spawns in, because it's supposed to spawn in the moment it dies. But as you guys can see, very odd changes. A lot more electricity going on. You know, it is charged and all. It looks a lot more vibrant, I guess. Like, it's glowing. I don't know how to explain it. But this version of Godzilla has 2,750,000 HP this time. Its attack actually goes all the way up to 40,000 damage. A crystal attack stays the same at 18,000. And its Super Corona Beam does 41,000 damage per hit. And it has a new attack called the Lightning Beam that does 40,000 per hit. So we're going to check out how that, you know, relates in an actual fight after we showcase the mobs it's going to be, you know, fighting, I guess. So let's go over here and check this out. Alright, this next spawn egg spawns a, well, it's a pretty powerful mob called Destroyah. And you know what? Let's go a little bit further. I don't want that Godzilla in this one fighting just yet. We'll check them out in a minute. But 3, 2, and 1. Welcome to the world, Destroyah. You look at that. Design-wise, I do absolutely love this thing. The wings, like, why are there, like, bottom wings, guys? Like, does that actually help with flight? It just has a crazy design, and check out its stats, okay? So, by the way, there is another form of Destroyah, right? There's a Shin Destroyah, which we'll talk about after this. But, okay. So, Destroyah has 1,890,000 HP. Its attack damage is actually the same as SpaceGodzilla at 38,000. It has a Horn Slice attack that apparently does 100,000 damage per, like, just 100,000 damage, wow. And it has an Oxygen Beam that does 38,000 damage per hit. Now, apparently when Destroyah dies, it does become Shin Destroyah, so let's spawn it right here so we can see differences and all that. So 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so this is Shin Destroyah. As you can see, a bit of a color swap. It has some new kind of markings on its chest, and for some reason both Destroyahs want to fight each other, which, as you guys can probably tell, wait, did Destroyah already lose just like that? No way, it was that quick. Okay, so Shin Destroyah, right? A much more powerful variation. Apparently, he has 7,600,000 770,000 HP. Its attack does... Wait. Am I reading this right? Wait. 580,000 damage per hit. By the way, Destroyah just became Shin Destroyah, so we have two Shin Destroyahs fighting each other. Its Horn Slice attack does 950,000 damage per hit. And the Super Oxygen Beam does 989,500 damage per hit, with a Chest Beam doing... Dude, am I reading this right? Wait. Is that 8,995,500 damage per hit? Okay, is there really anything that can handle Shin Destroyah? Is it just me, or does that sound incredibly OP? And we have two of them fighting each other right now. Oh, okay. Alright. You know what? Yeah. I don't know what else to say besides... Dude, what do we even do? By the way, there's also other stuff here that we're going to check out a little bit later. But, let's go check out the final mob, and let's spawn him over here. Alright. So, this one is going to be a pretty insane one, alright? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Welcome, Biolante. Alright, so Biolante is a mutated plant kaiju that is made to destroy Godzilla and all that. Pretty cool design, as you guys can tell. It has very plant-like features. It has 1,790,000 HP. Its attack damage does 37,200 damage. It has a bite attack that does the same amount of damage, and it has a pull attack that does 18,000 damage, a bite attack that does 45,000 damage, and it has a poison beam that does 38,000 damage per hit. Now, the cool thing about this is, check this. I still don't know if this is gonna do it, but we're gonna try it anyway. So, Biolante, there we go. I guess it doesn't work unless Biolante dies naturally. I guess the kill command just doesn't count. But when Biolante dies, it actually becomes Biolante Form 1, which is this plant thing here. And as you guys can tell, it's a plant that, like, kind of unleashes poison throughout the area. Very, very powerful, and yeah, pretty insane stuff. Now, aside from the mobs, we actually have a lot of insane stuff in this add-on. As you can see, we have ingots and all that, and, you know, photon stuff. And that only really matters because of, well, these items right here. By the way, Biolante is doing something insane right now. Okay, so we have a few cool things to showcase for us, actually. We have something called a photon chest plate, a photon helmet, and the oxygen blade. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what these things actually do to help, but apparently they help out with, you know, just taking on the Titans and all that. And I think they could take them on. Actually, you know what? Let's try Shin Destroyah and see if this oxygen blade can just take him out. I don't... Yeah. Okay, wait. Okay, so there's an oxygen blade and a super oxygen blade. I'm not sure what the differences are, but... And I don't know why they're not working. Either way, though, they exist, and I'm not too sure how to work them, so feel free to check that out yourself. Okay, so I guess we just have one more thing that I want to check out, and you know what, we're going to do Biolante first, just because I think it'd be easier, then we'll do Destroyah, alright. So, we'll just have some pretty obvious fights to check out here, so let's get out of this area, because this is the area that I guess Biolante kind of just left all the poison in, so we don't want, you know, SpaceGodzilla to have this disadvantage. Alright, back over here. Let's just see how they act towards each other. Alright, 3, 2, 1, SpaceGodzilla. And it's 3, 2, 1, Biolante. Alright. Let's see how these two kind of act towards each other if, like, a cool fight happens. I did not realize Biolante was that much bigger. As you guys can see, it literally is on site with the two of them, so I don't see Biolante's health anymore, which is very unfortunate. Okay, SpaceGodzilla and Biolante are literally beaming each other down right now, and SpaceGodzilla is doing a pretty okay job. You know what? I'm gonna go far away real quick and return just so I can see Biolante's HP. I feel like I need to see both their health bars. Or, you know, none of their health bars, I guess. Is it just me, or is, SpaceGodzilla just kind of standing there, shooting back, I guess? I'm not too sure who's gonna win this, especially since I don't see the, HP anymore. I guess SpaceGodzilla might have the advantage, mainly because SpaceGodzilla, when he dies, becomes charged SpaceGodzilla, right? While Biolante just kind of, you know, gets into that form. Okay, now he's charged SpaceGodzilla. Much stronger. Don't know how much health Biolante actually has right now. But hey, pretty awesome. Oh, okay. Hey, you two. Whoa, Mirror's charged SpaceGodzilla actually losing a lot of health. But there we go. I think Biolante was just defeated. And like I said, when Biolante gets defeated, it becomes Biolante Form 1. Kind of releases this poison all throughout the area, and it's pretty intense. At this point, though, a fight is pretty much over. I guess we give this a win to SpaceGodzilla, so cool stuff, cool stuff. Let's go for the next fight, which I think is going to be a lot more interesting, in my opinion. It's going to be SpaceGodzilla versus Destroyah. Now, I think Destroyah might actually win this only because Shin Destroyah is actually so strong. So here we go. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Guys, please don't blow me away so I can actually see health bars. But let's see how close SpaceGodzilla and Destroyah actually are in terms of, you know, power towards each other. It seems like they're doing a pretty equal amount of damage to each other right about now, so that's really, really interesting. Okay, we're going for beam attacks already. SpaceGodzilla has the advantage ever so slightly, health-wise. Okay. Seems like it's going pretty good, though. I am actually really excited to see how this goes. Seems to be pretty equal. This is, honestly, such a good fight. Oh, no. What's about to happen? SpaceGodzilla? You good, buddy? Now we don't see Destroyah's health for whatever reason. I don't like this. Let me actually get on the ground so I can actually kind of look up to these dudes. There we go. Okay. Okay, now we can't see SpaceGodzilla's health. Alright, thank you, game. Very nice. Okay, either way, seems like the fight is pretty much there. We can assume they're both under half health at this point with how the fight has been progressing. But, as you can see, I think Destroyah was actually just defeated now, which, in most cases, you'd think this is a win for SpaceGodzilla. But, we know better, and this Destroyah is about to become... He's taking a sweet time right now, I can't even lie. There we go, Shin Destroyah. And things are actually so different now. As you can see, Shin Destroyah, when he spawns in, defeated SpaceGodzilla right away, that he became charged SpaceGodzilla. Charged SpaceGodzilla seems like he is taking a lot of damage just from melee. And just like that, yeah. Shin Destroyah is definitely the strongest out of everything here. So, pretty cool stuff. Either way, though, let me know what you guys thought about the add-on. I thought it was actually pretty insane how much stuff that, you know, can actually happen with these guys. So, yeah. Either way, if you guys did enjoy it, drop down a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace, guys. Bye.